let's just go.
Yeah.
We'll start with English then.
Okay.
So, welcome, Frederik. How do you pronounce it? Uldall?
Frederik Uldall. Frederik Uldall from Denmark, Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking to me.
Yeah, absolutely. How long have you been interested in ufology?
I think I started in around 2007, where I went to the first conference here in Italy, where we are at the moment. Not in close to Milan, where we are now, but it is. It was in Rome, and there's an American-Italian researcher named Paola Harris, and she was very, very welcoming and very inclusive in the way that she invited me and another guy named Robert Fleischer from Exo Magazine TV, who was also here at this conference today, to Rome, to a really kind of a grassroots conference with the movie director, filmmaker James Fox, who has made a lot of UFO documentaries ever since. And this was a really small conference in 2007, in November, the 4th of November 2007, and since then it has just been growing. I mean, and now we're here today in 2025 at the Seoul conference here in close to Milan, just north of Milan at Lago Maggiore, and it's just a completely different ball game today compared to when it was back then. So I'm really, really happy to be here because the level of the presentations is skyrocketing. I mean, the academical level and the scholarly level here is just in a completely different place than it was back then. I mean,
so did you go to that conference? Did you catch your UFO interested at that conference?
No. I had gone into a lot of different, been interested in a lot of different, maybe not whistleblowers, but witnesses, military witnesses, that was their testimonies were collected in the 90s and then presented at the National Press Club in 2001. And I think I heard those. I dove into those testimonies in around 2005-06, and that made a huge impact on me and a huge impression on me. I thought, okay, not all these people they can be crazy. So I thought if just one of these people are speaking the truth, then we have one of the biggest stories in human history. So that was just the first event that I went to in 2007, and then I went back and then I took James Fox's documentary Out of the Blue, was one of his previous films, and I asked James Fox, could I distribute this to all the members of Danish Parliament? And he said, yeah, please go ahead. And so I printed like 173 DVDs and sent them to all the members of Danish Parliament at a very, very early stage. So maybe I was a little naive, but I didn't get any responses, of course, but then you could go on media, and I'm talking about it now. So it was really a grassroots movement back then.
Good effort.
A good effort, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. But then I started a organization called Exopolitics Denmark, which was a part of a larger network of activism in Europe and also on other continents. And then we started to going to some conferences in the United States. Stephen Bassett, the American activist, lobbyist, he held something called the X Conference in the Zeros. I went to that in 2008, 9, and 10 and got a lot of inspiration there, met a lot of top people there, for example, Richard Dolan and George Knapp and people like that. And then we went back to Denmark, and then we kind of started setting up our own conferences and invited these people to come and speak in Copenhagen, like Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp and Richard Dolan and Robert Hastings and people like A.J. Jivar from Brazil. So, and that every time we did that, I mean, we could go to the media and say, hey, there's an international guest coming to Copenhagen, so we could go on different shows, radio shows and podcasts and TV, and talk about the topic, because as soon as there is a news value in that an international person is coming to Denmark.
But did the news media, did they show interest in the actual?
They showed interest in the phenomenon and in all the stories. I mean, it's not that it's now we have this seminar or this new epoch, like starting in 2017 with this New York Times article, and many people have gotten interested in it there. So now it's actually much easier to do activism. But I've done activism for quite a bit of years now, I think, and then I also need to do something else and change horses. And now I've started a new initiative called the Danish Network for UAP Studies, which is a research initiative. It's just a network, actually. I don't have any opinion when I'm in the capacity of organizing things there. It's just a meeting room or a forum that scholars in Denmark can come in and they can talk about the research and inspire each other. And I think that is the time is ripe now for that. It wasn't back in the zeros. It was very hard to even get the media to pay attention to this, to journalists and let alone politicians, for example. But now, today, as we see here at the Seoul conference where we are now, I mean, now we got a EU politician, for example, Fabio, coming here to as one of the speakers, and we have there's a huge interest in investment, for example, also that, and also scientific, proper scholarly research. It's a completely different situation that we are in now compared to what it was before. So I'm very, very optimistic, and things are moving along perfectly, I think.
Yeah, okay. Have you... what's the most serious interest from Danish academia you've gotten?
Not much yet, because this is a very, very new initiative. Yep. But we are setting up an advisory board, so I'm trying to... We already have 5 people very soon on our website, DNUS, Danish Network for UAP Studies. Actually, also a Swedish person, Anders Warel from Lund University.
My friend.
You're one of your friends, actually.
Yeah, we're here together.
Okay. Yeah. This is amazing. I mean, that people are actually, scholars are willing to show their face on our website and say, okay, we think this UAP topic, it deserves scientific inquiry and scientific questions and maybe probably a whole new research program. Yeah. So it's the stigma in science is much less now than it was earlier. Yeah. But it's coming along nicely, I think. Yeah.
You mentioned Steve Bassett and James Fox. And
yes.
They've both been on my podcast. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You're one of them. You're one of them now.
Good people.
Cool activism. Just copying the DVDs and giving them to politicians.
Yes.
Nice
that was back then,
Nice trick.
So other people have done that as well, but I hope that there are some young people. I mean, when you get older, you tend to not be so. I mean,
but you didn't get any response.
No. Not any response. No. But you get response from journalists who say, "Okay, this is interesting. There's an activist organization. Yeah. I mean, doing something that in itself is interesting. That there are some people in the public who is trying to, like, persuade politicians to take this seriously and." I wouldn't say that there's maybe only one Danish politician who's been interested in this, as far as I know, and there are a couple of members of the European Parliament who have been interested in it. But I think more will come eventually.
A Danish member of European Parliament?
No, not a Danish member. There was Francisco, I can't remember his last name. Yeah, exactly, from Portugal, and then Fabio De Masi is his name, who came here today to give a presentation. So I think that's excellent. Then again, it's the emperor's new clothes effect. So the more people, it goes for politicians and it goes also for scientists.
Yeah. Do you know Almedalen?
No.
Almedalen on Gotland.
Oh yeah.
The big meetup with the politicians.
Yes.
Yeah, I took Citizens for Disclosure Sweden there this summer.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have written letters to different politicians in Sweden, and no one has ever gotten an answer yet.
Yes.
But if the Danish politicians and the Swedish politicians don't see any interest in the general public in the subject, then why should they take that
exactly
up? Yeah. But if they see that there is a general interest in this topic, then they can show that our constituents they show interest in this topic. So
if you can win vote, this is how politics works. I mean, if the politicians can see that they can win votes by addressing this subject, they will take it on. I mean, but so we have to make some noise. I mean, in the public. I mean, I remember how people used to say in the zeros and the tens, disclosure is never going to come out of Washington D.C. and no politicians will ever stand up and talk about this topic. And what do we see today? I mean,
Brazil Parliament 2022.
Yes, exactly. And
they had disclosure, you could say.
You could also say that, And this UAPDA, the UAP Disclosure Act, which has not passed for the third time now, more or less. But it's still, I mean, an impressive piece of legislation. I mean, mentioning non-human intelligence so many times, and legacy programs, and crash retrievals, and eminent domain, and all these terms. I mean, this is a totally new situation that we're in.
Is there a Danish example of a politician addressing the issue?
There was one on the podcast. I can't remember his name once, but I don't have.
Long time ago?
No, maybe a couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago. But who was asked questions. I don't know. I don't think it's I don't think he talks about it anymore. I mean, it was just a topic probably. I might be wrong, I don't know. Yeah. But it's not a topic in Denmark right now, but it may become. I mean, we just had these drone incursions in Denmark. I mean, we had them in the beginning of January of 2025, just in the slipstream of all the incursions in New Jersey, just south of Copenhagen. Køge, just south of Copenhagen, not far away from Sweden actually, and also here on the 22nd of September this year, which closed down the Copenhagen airport and also the Aalborg airport in the northern part of Jutland. And these drones were also above some military installations, Skydstrup airfield in the south of.
I think I've done 4 or 5 podcasts about it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, now here we go again. Yeah.
Well, can you paint the picture about? I mean, from Sweden, you can't really get a picture of how much attention it got in the general public and in different kinds of media. Can you paint a picture of how big this was in Denmark?
It was quite big, I think, at least for a couple of weeks. I haven't followed the news the last couple of days because I've been here, but during a couple of weeks, it was quite a large topic in the Danish media. And the Danish Prime Minister, she was very fast to insinuate it. She didn't say directly that it was the Russians, but I mean, she called it hybrid attacks. But I can't remember if it was maybe a week later or something in that order. The Danish Minister of Defense, Troels Lund Poulsen, he went out to say that now maybe we can't conclude that all of them were drones. Maybe now we call them aerial observations instead. So that leaves space for some other interpretations. Yeah. It could be, of course, like the wings of wind turbines, for example, or some other mundane, prosaic things. But it would also leave room for anomalous, like UAP, for example. So
how did Danish people interpret it that the Danish defense minister wanted to dilute the word, calling it air observations?
Yes.
Then it includes everything.
Then it includes everything.
He must understand that is obscure. It's going to be difficult to understand what you mean. The more things you include, the more.
I think
confused.
I think the public majority of the public, just I would say, it would interpret it that it could have been misidentifications, like a wind turbine or a commercial drone or something else man-made. Or I don't think many people in Denmark would start to think about UAP, for example, UFOs.
No. The general public has a long way there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's interesting to observe that the Danish media, at no time, as far as I know, made a connection to the flap in New Jersey, for example. All the incursions that have happened in the United States, for example, at Langley Air Force Base for 17 consecutive days in December 2023, for example.
I didn't mention that.
I mean, is it the same phenomenon? I mean, I saw a few. It's just a question. I mean, I don't have the answer for it, but I think it's a valid question.
It is, because we have a good video and photographs from New Jersey. We have a good video from Denmark. It's the exact same kind of.
I saw that. Yeah,
and I've seen the same one myself.
Okay, you have seen the same one yourself. Okay, interesting. Where did you see that?
100 meters from my door.
100 meters from your door. That's pretty close.
For like 80 meters away from me.
Okay, can you tell me about that experience?
Sure. On the 19th of January at 1903, it wasn't quite dark. And I was walking around the lake, and then I see a big ball of light above the lake. There's never anything flying over that lake.
Okay.
It's just maybe 50 meters above the lake, maybe 40, and it comes towards me, and then it starts to turn to right and goes to my left side. And then I see a small airplane body.
Okay.
So the light was, when it showed its side, I could see it was an aircraft of some sort.
Okay.
And at this time was when I have done like 5 podcasts about New Jersey drones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then this thing comes along, and it passes over where I was walking like 1 minute ago. So I saw it maybe at, I would say, how long it passed, like 75, 80 degrees above me, and maybe it was 80 meters from me. It was maybe 4, I think it was, I must correct it, I think it was like 35 meters above the ground.
Okay.
And I saw it for 2 minutes almost, more than 1 minute. nothing on flight radar, and I've lived there for 13 years, never seen anything fly like that. It's
how big was it approximately?
yeah.
Do you think?
Last time I talked about this, I said 6 meters in wingspan, but that's not that's too big. I would say 3.5 meters in wingspan, maybe 4. But yeah, and it looks like a huge model plane or a really small airplane. It's a weird
so it's
size.
fixed wings?
Yeah,
or?
fixed wing, yeah, and lots of lights, like 6 lights or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird. And then 6 days later, I think it was Friday, at 10 o'clock in the evening, I have been to the shops, and this is also where I live. Never seen anything fly that low above that part of Solna where I live. And just an aircraft comes not straight towards me, but passing. Airplanes to Arlanda, they pass over there or over there, never over. And this is just like 80 meters above the ground also. And this one looks exactly like many photographs from New Jersey and the video from Denmark.
And from Aalborg.
Yeah,
probably.
I think it was Aalborg.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
Same thing, yeah. So, what do you think it is? I mean, it looks man-made. I mean, I think.
My analysis is pretty solid at this moment, but I don't really believe anything in this case because I don't know. It's psychological, but the evidence is beyond reasonable doubt ×3 that it's UFO level of tech.
Yeah. Okay.
It's definitely UFO level tech because even the Department of Homeland Security, they told the governors in New Jersey that they could be up for 7 or 8 hours. Nobody has ever seen them need to refuel or anything.
Yeah.
And that big of an aircraft not needing to refuel for 6-7 hours.
Yeah.
That is, how do they do that?
Yeah.
And the level of awareness they show, it's also on UFO level, I'd say, because there's lots of pictures from New Jersey. And lots of witnesses have seen them, but it's never really good. It's always quasi bad, you know.
Yeah.
So it seems to have. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people have seen them by now in New Jersey and the States. Yeah. And not one super good picture. I mean, how is that possible? They're always like kind of good.
Yeah.
But. So this level of awareness and control doesn't.
Yeah, but it's definitely. I mean, we're talking about some like the authorities, the Danish authorities also talk about very capable actors. So
they can't do anything about them.
Yeah. Maybe not. I mean, it's whatever it is. I mean, it's a capable actor. So if it's China or if it's UA or if it's extraterrestrials, I mean, or Russians, I mean, it just raises so many questions. I mean, because there is some.
It does.
It does. You have the UAP phenomenon, UFO phenomenon that goes back like to the Second World War and even before that, as we know. But this phenomenon, it just muddies the water tremendously because we also heard the citizen science of the Tedesco brothers in New Jersey also registering really anomalies, but also what looks like proper normal drones.
Exactly.
I mean, so we're just entering an era where it's going to be increasingly difficult to differentiate what is what and sorting the wheat from the chaff. Yeah. What is it really that we are looking at? And we need some really good minds and some extremely good sensor technology to differentiate what is what.
Yeah, but the sensors doesn't seem to do anything. I mean, NORAD admitted that they don't know how they appear or how they disappear. The same was said from a Swedish defense, a teacher at the defense school, military school in Sweden. He said the same thing as NORAD said. He talked for like 3 minutes. Garbage, doesn't really anything interesting, but in between there he said that you don't know where they come from or where they go, and you can't detect them. And then we have the police officer or several in New Jersey, and if you can hear from police officers that this is something really strange, and one of them is recorded saying that their IR cameras can't detect them. And then you have Ryan Graves' colleagues. He knows the fighter pilots that flew the F-22s at Langley Air Force Base. He said from them, they said that their equipment can't detect them either. That's F-22 Raptors.
Okay.
So they can't be detected. They're not show up on IR cameras, so they can't do anything about them, I would say.
Weird.
Yeah. But UFO waves have never been like this. as far as we know, right?
No, not really. No. We have there have been, of course, some pretty amazing sightings like the Phoenix Lights and Hudson.
Yeah, but not this global. And not this sunshine.
No.
Like far close to the ground, seen by hundreds of thousands of people.
Exactly.
It doesn't fit either. So it's something new.
No, Russ Coulthard, he's been talking about this also going on. I mean, now it's obvious that it's going on in the United States and for quite some time, also before the New Jersey drones, right? And now it's happening in Europe. And but has it happened in Iran, for example, or in Russia? I mean, or South America as well? I mean, I'm not too familiar about those reports. But
Russ Coulthard reported that Moscow's 4 airports were closed down temporarily during the New Year's Sea.
Okay.
So it was during the same time.
Okay.
And all of Moscow's airports were closed down.
We're not sure what caused that.
We're not sure.
Okay. It could be something else.
Yeah, it could be, but probably not. Probably the drones.
Yeah.
Because Russ Coulthard also said that they were shot out in China, but we haven't had any. It's only Russ Coulthard's word. I'm not sure, but I mean the UFO level of tech and awareness. No sign of humans. I mean, this is a huge endeavor. Could humans really do this and leave no trace? I don't think so.
Well, you never know what they have stored in the in the hangars.
What's the talk in Denmark? Are they afraid that it's going to come back? Are they talking in terms of it's over now? Or?
No, I think it's just a question of putting up some sensors and anti-drone equipment. I mean, I think this is what they're ramping up on at the moment, and probably also in a lot of other European countries. So because it also closed down the Munich airport, and it was seen also, I think, in over an airbase in Belgium, and and it's been happening, of course, in the United Kingdom over Lakenheath and Mildenhall and Feldwell, these bases there.
Did you hear that there was a Danish soldier shot at them?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No.
Military airbase in the middle of Denmark somewhere called Borislægen.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And they kind of semi-confirmed it.
Okay.
And neighbors who lived there heard the automatic burst.
Okay.
Several automatic bursts at the drones.
Okay.
When they were over Borislægen.
Okay.
Yeah. So not officially confirmed, but you can read it more about it on some Radio 3.
Okay.
They reported on. I can show you the article.
Yeah,
so
sure.
So they actually shot at it, seems like, and nothing happened. Of course,
nothing happened.
Far we know.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, not even the Americans didn't shoot at it.
Not as far as I know. Some civilians shot at it.
Yeah,
which was kind of trigger-happy Americans.
Yeah. Did they?
Yeah, I think I saw some videos of America.
I think that was fake.
Was it fake?
Yeah.
Okay, it might have been fake.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was a video of a drone, and I think they had overlaced a video of shooting stuff.
Okay.
I think that was fake. That's what I heard at least. Yeah. So if the Americans don't shoot them down,
the Danes are. Yeah. Maybe the Danes are the trigger-happy ones. Yeah.
Okay. How Seoul conference? Have you liked it so far?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. Yeah. I mean, it's but there's a lot of information to take in a very short period of time, and there's a lot of people that everybody wants to speak to each other.
Yeah.
So, and it's impossible to speak to everyone, and it's impossible to take all the information in, and all the slides are filled with info. So, but exactly. I hope we can probably see it on YouTube. Also, I need to see a lot of it on YouTube as well, because afterwards.
Sometimes where you can't take any more lectures, you go out and then you find the interesting people to talk to, and that's
exactly.
almost
this is how this interview happened.
Exactly.
Because I was totally full of presentations, so I needed a little break.
But have you noticed that? Okay, we are on a high level here at Seoul conference.
Yes,
very high level, and there's a lot of knowledge, and the topic is really important, but we are in an aquarium. We need to reach outside our little aquarium, and nobody talks about that. We need to reach the general public and media, or through media and the politicians. That is that's more important, I would say, because we can talk all we want of how fancy and all we want on here. If we don't get any.
But I think it will. This is one of the ways that it will happen. Now we had a member of the European Parliament coming here,
and that's good.
And he's going to talk to other politicians in the EU. And I think it's really interesting that the Seoul Foundation have decided to arrange the conference here. in Europe, and this is the third time they have the conference. The first 2 times it was in the United States. So what is Europe going to do about this? So I think I think it will happen, and I mean, and hopefully we can use the drone situation to our advantage, and also to talk about UAPs and just say to raise some awareness about that. Okay, these may actually, of course, it may very well be human tech, but it was not human tech in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. Drones were not present at that time in history. No. So it's. I think this is the way forward to have a conversation on this level now, because we have politicians here, we have journalists, we have scientists with peer-reviewed publications. So.
Yeah, I mean that European Parliament, I forget his name, whatever. He will have a serious interest. He will have a serious impression of this topic now. That's good.
And there has been a meeting in the EU with Francisco. I can't remember his last name.
Guerrero.
Guerrero. Yeah. in 2024. Yeah. As far as I remember.
Yeah, 20th of March. But was that mentioned in Danish media?
No, it wasn't.
No. I was the only one, or me and another UFO podcaster were the only ones reporting on it.
Yes.
And nothing, I mean, literally nothing in media about it. They told Beatrice to not mention what SETI stands for.
Okay.
They told her, and those ufologists that told her that are here.
Okay.
Yeah. UAP Coalition Netherlands. We can edit this out.
Okay.
If you don't want to get involved.
No. I have no opinion on it. I mean, it's
so UAP Coalition Netherlands. I've been in meetings with them, and they say stuff like, "We can't be sure that there's anything to disclose. It's not certain that the governments know anything." And they told Beatrice, a SETI researcher, that she can't say what SETI stands for in the European Parliament.
Okay.
You can't trust every ufologist in this. It's like Sifui. Yeah. It's that level. It's all over European ufology. Here and there are ufologists that can't talk about NHI, just like Pentagon.
Okay,
This is how the lid is kept on.
Yeah.
And the problem is that we in Europe, we don't talk to each other. We look at the United States mostly. All of us from each country look at the United States, but we don't discuss among ourselves because there's patterns.
But we are doing it here at this conference. So I think it's a great opportunity because there are people here from Switzerland and Holland and from Sweden and from Denmark and from France and many people from Germany. I mean, and I feel it comes at a time where Europe is trying to unite. I mean, because all these drone incursions, and the situation with the United States and Trump, he would like the Europeans to finance their own military and stand on their own feet, and there is some sense to that. I mean, everybody should be adults, right? So, I mean, in some, I can sympathize with that. Not that I sympathize with Trump with quite a few things actually, but with
problematic.
Yeah, he wants UAP disclosure. Now he's transparency at least, but now he's not talking about it anymore. So,
did you hear what he almost said? Did you hear when he was interviewed about the drone situation?
No.
He was asked, and he said, "Yeah, I would love to tell you, but it's not up to." And then he stopped himself. He was about to say he would love to tell you, but it's not up to me. It's the president of the United States saying that it's not up to him. Okay. So
but it's let's see what happens with Europe. I mean, there is definitely some data sharing that we can do across borders in the EU. The EU can be used to, for example, to data sharing and bringing people together at a place like this.
Hopefully. But the ufologists that have had meetings with the members of the European Parliament, the intelligence community sent in their ufologists. The members of the European Parliament right now looks like they're going to get their side of ufology.
Okay.
It's better than nothing, but...
I have no opinion about about
so
that.
At least they're going to promote the topic, but they're going to promote the topic in the way that the intelligence community wants them to promote it. So it's better than nothing, but it would be better if you and me will get to talk to them. Have you tried?
Not to the European politicians.
You know Professor Varel, Anders?
Yes, I know him. Yes.
He sent emails to all the Swedish members of European Parliament.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know that.
Not one answer.
Okay, no answer.
And he's a professor at London University. Yeah. That's what we're up against. Silence.
But the silence is slowly breaking, I think. So
we'll hope so.
Yeah,
we'll keep it up.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So much, Frederik.
Nice
Thank
talking to you. Bye.
Perfect. Great stuff.